What's up? Back kicking it with Mama. Nah, see, y'all see I got my nail fixed. I wasn't playing. Back kicking it with Mama. So if you are new to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you are not new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning back into my channel, because it's lit over here. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be watching videos anywhere else, but you chose. You know what I'm saying? You was making that choice. I like being chosen, period. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. So today, y'all see the title of the video. So I came across this video. I watch a lot of YouTube. Y'all already know, since I am a YouTuber, period. But anyways, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I came across this video. And I watched the lady's whole video. I'm not going to show her whole video in my video, but I'm going to show a clip. So this video basically was about this lady. Hold on, because I'm cooking breakfast. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I get up in the morning, I get my life together, I meditate, I pray, and if my son's here, I'm making breakfast. I'm that kind of mama. Like, if I had a man, when I get a man, he gonna be so happy because, baby, I like to cook. But anyways, so let's get into this video. So this video basically was about this lady that had been married to this man for 18 years. I'm gonna let that soak. I'm gonna let that soak. What does 18 years of marriage include? Somebody help me out with that. Anyways, 18 years of them being married, right? So, you know, the video, I'm going to show a nice little portion of her video of her explaining, you know, what happened in their relationship, you know, the things that they went through that led up to him leaving. So anyways, in the video, she simply says that she went to Vegas, and when she came home, her man was gone. Like, he packed up all his stuff. He took everything. He left her wedding dress. So there was a TikTok, but I can't find the TikTok, and I really don't even want to watch the TikTok because TikTok is so disrespectful. And the comments on TikTok, the comments on TikTok and the comments on the videos is what made me do this video. Period. I was like, I have to drop a video for this, because this is just, the problem is that men think that the way they act is okay. Like, this is okay. Not with me. So anyways, this video, basically, she'd been with him for 18 years. She went to a conference. When she came back home, he was gone. So in the video, she explains, you know, some of their relationships. They was married for 18 years. They went to counseling a couple of times. I mean, in 18 years, clearly y'all had to have gone to counseling a couple times, because y'all had more than one issue that occurred in y'all relationship. So I respect counseling, period. So anyways, in the video, she was talking about how she wanted to follow her career, and it made him feel uncomfortable. So this was one of the problems that stirred up some problems in their relationship that caused them to go to counseling. He didn't feel comfortable with her chasing her dreams. How does that work? Anyways, so the conference that she went to definitely was going towards her dream. So she felt like in her life, in order for her to really, instead of making her dream a hobby, she wanted to actually make it a career for herself. So I feel, you know what I'm saying? Women power, period. I feel that all the way. So anyways, uncomfortable. So he felt uncomfortable, stirred up some problems in their relationship. They had to go to counseling. So my problem with this, and I don't even know all the problems that happened in their relationship, but I don't care what kind of problems that was happening in their relationship. It was never okay to up and leave in a relationship and not have a conversation. You are a grown man. Period. You are grown. Grown. Y'all was in a whole relationship. So why can't you give somebody the heads up? It is never okay to do that. So the comments is what made me do this video, because it was like the men were condoning his behavior. Like saying like, oh, so what happened with you? You must have did something. I don't care what she did. I don't really care what she did. You are a grown man. You are supposed to give her a heads up, or at least let her know where she went wrong in the relationship. But anyways, he blocked her. So he left the house. He blocked her on social media, everything. Only conclusion that I could come up with is that he gay. What other reason would a man just up and leave a relationship and not say nothing? Either he's simping or he gay. Somebody help me out with that. I don't understand that. That shit ain't never okay with me. Never. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in one relationship where I didn't have a conversation, and that's some simp shit. Period. Because if you can't sit down, if you can have sex with me, and we can have a whole relationship, but you can't sit down and tell me where we went wrong, problem. Definitely a problem for me. I don't respect no dudes that handle stuff like that. I don't respect you if you ghosting people and you been in a relationship with them. No. So the only two conclusions that I can come up with, and help me if I'm wrong, is either he gay or he's simping. Because why else would a man leave you and not say nothing? Tell me. I don't care what she's done. It deserves a conversation. We deserve some type of closure after 18 years. That's deep for me. I don't understand that. I don't respect that. I have no respect. For you to up and leave and not just say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, in relationship, women change themselves so much to accustom to this relationship, to be accustomed to you, to help you. You know what I'm saying? She even said she helped him get further in his career. So he couldn't even be there for her. But you can pack it up and leave. Baby, no respect. You get no respect. Honestly, I have no respect for any man that does that. I feel like if you are in a relationship with somebody, clearly there's something about that person that you liked or you loved, or something that gravitated you to that person in order for y'all to have a relationship. So what is wrong with two adults sitting down and talking about where we went wrong, even if we ain't finna be together? Like, I mean, people do it just in relationship, but in marriage, like, I don't understand that. So in the video, she talks about how she made her, like, how she changed so much about her for this man so that he can love her. So that was strike one for me. I'm not changing who I am for nobody. Either we coming into this thing, you loving Monique for Monique, because baby, that's where we go wrong. Because we do too much changing and they stay the same. How does that work? So you did all this changing for this man that up and walked away. No. Strike number one. So again, she talked about that in the video. She talked about how, you know, she didn't get love growing up. So this was the first man that she was with since she was 16 years old. So yeah. So I could totally understand why maybe she changed herself so much, because this was the first dude that she ever messed with, but she didn't receive any real love from her family members, not from her dad or no male figure in her life. So yeah, I really honestly believe that when women don't have a real solid relationship with any male figure in their life, whether it be their uncle, their grandpa, somebody that showed them a picture of a man, then this is what you result to: simps. Because baby, I'm not saying that my daddy did the best job, but baby, I'm not with the simps. I will be by myself. Y'all see, I'm alone right now. You know what I'm saying? And it is definitely by choice, because I could be with somebody, but I just don't want to be with no simp ass nigga. I don't want to be with nobody that's that weak. I'm cool. I've had my share. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So I need to be with somebody that's strong enough to have a conversation, that's strong enough to handle my personality, that's strong enough to stay down. And if you can't stay down, let's talk about it. What's hard about that? Nothing's hard about that. But when you deal with young boys, little simps, toxic dudes that have no respect for women, I'm just saying, this is exactly what you get. Simp. So y'all watch the video. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the video, because I was very like, oh, it just really made me so mad that the men that were commenting on this video, they just had no respect for her. It was like, what did she do? What do you mean, what did she do? What did he do? He probably was cheating. He probably had somebody for having a relationship. That's all I'm saying. So that's why it was so easy for him to get up and walk away. Because usually if somebody gets up and walks away like that, baby, they already had somebody. Or he just so weak that he couldn't have a conversation with you. I'm over it. Y'all watch the video. Tell me what you think. Anyways, again, if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Pick you my story. So I stayed in a relationship with a man for years and years and years and years, right? Because we grew up together. He was the first person, the first male outside of my family to tell me that he loved me. And for me, that meant something to me. He was the first person. We were 15 going on 16 years old. So he was the first person to tell me that. And I did not take that lightly. So throughout the relationship, I have changed a lot as a person. I was when I was a child by a family member. So my self-worth has never been there. I have always gotten my self-worth from being with, I'm just going to be real. I have always gotten my self-worth from other people. I have always gotten my self-worth from other men, especially in the area. I grew up without my father. So I was, and I grew up without my father. So even though I didn't know at the time why I was behaving the way that I was behaving, I know that about myself now, right? That's part of self growth. So I know that about myself now, or whatever. So I have everything that I have done has been because I just want to love me, right? And though that's my responsibility, right? I have to take responsibility for that. So everything I've done has been because I wanted to love me. Period. So when I needed to change something about myself, it was something that he didn't like. I changed that thing about myself. That's where we were in that place. I was happy in that time. So I shared that time with him. Um, I shared that space. Like I celebrated him. I did things, to uplift my husband, publicly or whatever, because that's the type of that's the type of things that I was looking for in return. So, um, all the criticism, like you couldn't, I can tell you, most people couldn't walk 2 miles, and it just kind of is what it is. So to kind of get up to this point, for me coming home to a completely empty place, right? So prior to this, I have been doing a lot of work, especially I'm gonna say within the last year and a half. And if you follow me on Facebook, you'll really see in my posts like how my posts have transitioned in a year and a half. And my goal is to be a better person so that I can be better, not only for me, but to the people that are in my life or whatever. So I've been doing a lot of work on myself personally. I've done self love coach training. Recently became a self love coach, and I came home yesterday. I recently became a self love coach, and that's kind of instilled some qualities in me that I didn't have at first, and I started to view things a little bit differently. So I sat on the floor one day and I told my husband, I said, "Hey, I really want to try entrepreneurship full time." No, it wasn't just about like someone smart try to say my MLM business. No, it wasn't just about their business or whatever. I had become a certified self-love coach. So I sat on the floor and I told the man that was is my husband how I felt, how my job was draining, how I felt it didn't serve any purpose. I'm a very purpose-driven person. How it didn't serve any purpose, and how I really needed his support. I really wanted his support. His support was really important to me because I wasn't just doing this for me. I was doing this for the both of us. Like I'm that woman who wants to retire her husband. Like little Tabitha around. Like I want to be like that. So his support was very, very important to me. So when I sat on the floor and poured my heart out to my husband and told him my plans and my vision or whatever, to be told his exact words were, the only way that I can support your dreams is for us to live separately. I'm gonna tell you why that hurt me so much. When my husband decided that he wanted to own his own Avis budget, this was a few years ago. He wanted to run his own Avis budget. I didn't tell him any reasons why he couldn't do it. I needed him only to see the reasons why he could do it. So when he went to Avis Budget, I left the employer that I was working at Avis Budget. I finished graduate school, and I also worked with him full time to support his dream as his assistant manager. He brought other people in and paid people more than he paid me. That's fine because I'm working this dream and this vision with, and it's important to your happiness, your well being, and all this good stuff, right? So I went in the trenches with him and I worked with him. Later on, after us like not having their business anymore or whatever, because it was about 8 months and it took a toll on us. We were working 14-hour days. We were driving at least an hour away from where we were living then, and it actually got to be too much. So he left that opportunity or whatever. He went through a really big state of depression, which I didn't know at the time. He was blaming me for a lot of things. He said that I wasn't the type of assistant manager that he needed me to be, like all these things, right? I took all of it on the chin or whatever. And I came back and I told him, why, while you may see these things as a failure, I admired him for taking the chance and taking the risk when it came to Avis budget. One, not a lot of people get to um live out their dream or go for opportunities like that. So I admire that. He was able to get the income and the capital, to start their business because he had to have payroll and all that good stuff. Like these are things that I admired and I verbalized to him. Like I was very, very proud of him. So even if he took it as a failure, it really wasn't. Hey y'all, it really wasn't a failure because he got to do something that so many people didn't get to do. So fast forward to us sitting in counseling because once he told me we had to live separately in order for him to support my dreams, we had to live separately. I was like, well, maybe we need to go to counseling. We've been to counseling a few times. Maybe we need to go to counseling. We need to go to counseling and actually, while you're being smart, I wasn't a self-love coach at that time. If you listen to the story, I actually became a self-love coach here recently within the last few months or whatever. And I did notice my husband was depressed. That's why I allowed him to do what he needed to do in the healing process, what he needed to do to heal. And I was there for him actually when he went through that process. So while you're running your mouth and you don't know who I am or whatever, that's just your answer to that question. And I don't mean to sound like that, but it's just kind of what it is. Um, so I'm sorry about that, y'all. But he went through his process and stuff. So when he told me that the only way he could support me going after my dreams was because it made him uncomfortable. He absolutely has the right to be uncomfortable. Like I would never ever take anyone's feelings away from them. That's the biggest difference between my husband and I. I let you feel what you feel and I honor your feelings. So it made him uncomfortable. So we went to counseling and the goal was to eventually come to an understanding where we would stay together, right? So my counselor if asked me what I needed in order to stay, for us to stay in the same household and to continue our marriage. And I told my husband what I needed in order to stay. And all I needed was for him to support my dream. So when I say support my dream, I'm gonna tell you this. I've always paid my bills. My husband and I have always kept our money separate. I've always paid my bills. The car that I drive, I pay my car note. A car note has insurance. I pay the insurance on their car. Any credit card bills that I've had, I pay my credit card bills. Any educational expenses I've had, I pay my educational expenses. Any investing that I've done in my businesses, I pay those expenses or whatever. And then my husband came up with the plan. He said, "Hey, I need an additional $600 towards household expenses." So, with all my individual bills, I also contribute $600 to the actual household. So when I talk about support, it was for my husband to be on my side and to be in my corner and to support me emotionally. It was never about financially. I never wanted to give up contributing to the household. So that's the thing that really, really hurts through all of this. So fast forward, I go to Vegas. There was a comment, oh, well, you went to Vegas. Going to Vegas was more important. One, I go to Vegas every year for my business, and it's between 5 days. I actually invited my husband to go to Vegas with me. He said no because he wanted to use his time to take a trip for his vacation during his birthday. His birthday is in November, so he's like, "Well, I want to go and do a trip in November or whatever for my birthday, and I'm gonna keep that time for that." Okay, cool. So I extended it to. I actually wanted him to come so he could see why my business was so important to me. At least one of my businesses. I have three businesses. So at least why this particular business is so important to me, and I don't want to give up on it. And a lot of people who have like side businesses and side hustles, it never becomes more than a side business or a side hustle because we're too busy putting our energy into other things. So all I wanted was a chance to put all of my energy into this thing, even if he had given me a time frame, into this thing that I feel like will grow exponentially. It will be a foundation like to generational wealth for us. So all I needed was some time and support, and that's all I was asking for. I was never asking to escape my responsibilities, like to my household. Like I'm always very clear that this is what's expected of me when it comes to the household. So I was never expecting to escape those responsibilities. So when I was in Vegas, there was communication in Vegas, but then all of a sudden the communication stopped. And I was like, we weren't fighting or anything. Like, I don't understand, like, why or whatever. And the thing that gets me the most is like in my spirit, I know he stole my ring or whatever. Help me look for the ring. And he knows that he has the ring. Help me look for the ring, knows that he have it or whatever. But when I walked into that apartment, and I saw that everything was gone, I was expecting to see him sit on the couch. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I don't care if you feel I should have done this or that, because truthfully, you don't know the situation unless you're in the situation. But nobody deserves to be left like that. Absolutely nobody. I wouldn't wish it on my enemy. And I can say that because I would never, never have done him like that. All the things that we have been through, all the spiteful things, never look to get him back. Like, it's not in my spirit. Like, if I say I'm going to be with you and I'm going to, to support you, that means that I'm agreeing to move past any hurt or whatever. When we're in counseling, y'all, there was things from when we were 16 to 17 years old with my husband. So he holds on to things, but I'm more likely to let those things go. So I really feel like that's the reason why this hurts. It hurts the most. There's a bit of relief for me, to be honest. Because if you've never been in a relationship, and this is my responsibility, right? If you've never been in a relationship where you have been made to feel this small all the time, where you need to change things about yourself, more times than not, when they're not satisfied with who you are, more times than not. If you've never been in a relationship like that, then you couldn't possibly understand the places I speak from. But all I ever wanted was for my husband to love me for me. And it took the last year or so for me to realize that that I am special, and that I deserve, we all deserve to be loved the way that we deserve to be loved. You see what I'm saying? We all have love languages and stuff like that, things that are important to us. And my love language is affirmation. So communication is very important to me. So I would never just run out on you without communicating with you about it. Like, I've been blocked on social media. I've been blocked from his phone, like all this stuff. Like, I was blocked ahead of time. Like, he was like, I'm done. Peace out. Like, your closure is not my problem. And you know what? In a way, I can appreciate that, because it forces me to take a long, hard look at like who I am, and it forces me to, to deal with it or whatever. Like, I'm not innocent. I'm not perfect. I hate that we have to say that or whatever. That, like, this is just me sharing my story. I place no blame. Like I said at the very, very beginning, absolutely had the right to want to leave. Like, that's his right to want to leave. Maybe he owed me nothing at all. Maybe he owed me nothing at all. But I would have never taken everything that was, because he feels righteous and right in what he did, right? But I would never take everything that we accumulated during a marriage, take it for myself, and then just be out. Like, no communication or nothing. Like, that's just not me, but it's just kind of what happens. So no, we don't have any kids. Somebody asked me about my son. I'm a Sagittarius and he's a Scorpio. We don't have any kids, by the grace of God. But for those of you on TikTok, like, you don't know, like, a lot of my story, more of you on Facebook do. But like, I actually been wanting kids here lately, like, and it's really been on my spirit, like, I want kids or whatever. But it was God's plan that I didn't have children with my soon to be ex-husband. It hurts. My mom never got married before she passed away. So the first example that I had of a marriage was actually my little sister, my younger sister or whatever. She got married first. And it sucks, y'all. I'm open and honest, and I can have all the I'm open and honest. I can deal with like all the laughter, the judgment, and this and the other. Oh, you were stupid, and this and the other. Like I take all of that on the chin or whatever. You internet gangsters. You guys have a lot to say, but I will say this: the amount of support that I have received has absolutely been overwhelming, and I thank each and every one of you guys who